Hey guys, today we're going to be talking about the Tesla wall connector versus the Rivian wall charger, so that conversation is coming up. So on the surface, both EVSE's, electric vehicle supply equipment, is kind of the same. They charge at 48 amps max, and basically they both plug and play, and you're charging right after that. Well, if you followed the channel for a while, you know that we have both a Rivian and a Tesla now. So basically, for us personally, it doesn't really matter because either one will kind of benefit us one way or the other because we have both brands of car. But as I looked deeper into both EVSEs, one actually was a lot more obvious that we should get than the other, and that was the Tesla wall connector. I was able to snag a J1772 Tesla wall connector, which is now discontinued, so I would use that to plug directly into the Rivian, and then basically just use the adapter that came with the Tesla to charge that way, and it's super simple and very easy. But I'm going to compare the new Tesla universal wall connector that's coming out in October, because that's what you'd be able to get. And it makes it even easier because you don't have to use any adapters at all, and you can charge any two EVs that you have. So I think the one biggest reason that we went with the Tesla wall connector was price. So basically, I actually got mine for $550 because it's a different version, but the universal wall connector is $595 versus the Rivian wall charger, which is $800. So if you're looking just at price, it makes more sense to go with the Tesla wall connector because they both charge at 48 amps and they do the same thing. But besides just price, when I looked deeper, there was a lot more things. So the first one was flexibility. So if we look at both wire boxes, the Tesla wire box gives you a lot more options. You can come in from the back, so if you want to hide your conduit or whatever, you can come in from the back on the left or the right, or you can go top or bottom if you want outside conduit. Now with the Rivian wall charger, you don't have as many options. All you can do is only on the left backing or from the bottom. So for me personally, it wouldn't have made a difference because for my setup, I came in from the back left, but there's going to be plenty of other people that need to use the back right, or they want to use the top or something, depending where their breaker box is and the location of where you want to put the actual EVSE. The Rivian wall charger is noticeably bigger than the Tesla wall connector. So on the length and width side, it's longer and wider. I don't have the exact measurements on the Tesla universal wall connector because the manual is not out. So I know the depth is bigger on the Tesla wall connector, but I still think that the Rivian is, obviously the Rivian overall is going to be bigger. So if you're in a tight space or something, then that might play an issue for you, like it did for me because we have solar conduit that's coming in from the top of our drywall, and there was the spacing right there was a little bit tight. So I wanted to get like the smallest 48 amp EVSE I could to fit in the space I needed it to fit. The third gen Tesla wall connector can load share. So what that means is if you have two wall connectors, you can actually tell them to talk to each other, and basically they can, distribute power from your breaker box. And that way, if you're charging two EVs at once, you don't like blow your panel or something like that and start a fire. I don't believe that the Rivian has this capability. So if you have more than one EV, this could be, something key for you. So if you did have two Rivian wall chargers, the only workaround for this would be to set the amperage in each car manually, but that's just going to be a flat rate, and the connectors can't talk, the chargers can't talk to each other where they can intelligently distribute power between the cars depending on the SoC. So it's kind of more of a little of a hassle to have to do that, and you can't just like sit there and let the chargers do it themselves. Rivian states in their manual that the 6 AWG wiring that's required for the wall charger should be torqued down at 10.6 inch-pounds. So to me, that's actually really loose. I kind of am concerned about that because when you look at the Tesla wall connector, their same thing, 6-gauge AWG wiring should be torqued down at 50 inch-pounds. So why this is concerning is because if you know anything about electricity, 48 amps is kind of a lot of power. And so if you're putting that much power through these wires, they basically move a little bit. So if they're not torqued down tight, then loose wires are basically what causes arcing, and arcing can lead to fires. So it's slightly concerning that they're only requiring that small amount of torque to keep the wires in place. But Rivian is a tech company like Tesla, so I'm sure they know what they're doing, but it's just a little bit concerning that the requirement is so low. So what you could do is you could gamble and torque the wires down a little bit tighter but then you do risk maybe breaking the terminals doing that. So it's kind of a toss-up, and I don't know what to do. The Rivian wall charger terminals are only big enough for 6 AWG wiring. So that means that you're going to have to get 6 AWG THHN wiring to be able to handle the whole 48 amps and charge at full power. Now for Tesla's wall connector, they actually mentioned in their manual that this 6 gauge THHN is the minimum you should be using, but their terminals are also set up for 4 gauge, 4 AWG THHN, which is a bigger wire that can handle more power. So if you're conservative and you want to play it super safe, you could put in the 4 AWG THHN, or you could do 4 gauge NMB, which is also called Romex. Rivian's cabling is also a lot thicker too. So if you've ever tried to manipulate thick cords, it's kind of hard to do. So if you have to pull that cord out like 15 feet to the back of the car in the back of the garage, and then, wheel it back up and put it back on the charger, it gets a little bit cumbersome. And so Tesla's wiring is actually a lot thinner. So normally that's a red flag because, you're putting so much power through these EVSEs. But this is Tesla we're talking about. They are very techy and very engineer focused. So I, trust that their thinner wiring is totally fine to be able to handle all that power. The Tesla J1772 plug is actually a lot smaller than the standard one. So I have the mobile connector from Rivian, and that has the standard J1772 plug, and it's a lot bigger. So it's just nice that the Tesla one with the adapter doesn't stick out as much, because we have this freezer in the middle of our garage, and so trying to walk by the Tesla with that adapter kind of gets in the way with the Rivian, and it doesn't with the Tesla. The Rivian wall charger, I'm sure, is a fine product, and if you're a loyalist and you don't want to be charging your Rivian on a Tesla wall connector because just you, then go ahead and get the Rivian wall charger. I'm sure it'll be a fine product for you. But for me, price aside, it still made more sense to go with the Tesla wall connector because of all these small little things that I mentioned that had me slightly concerned. On top of this, Tesla has been making EVSEs for a lot longer, hence the 3rd gen Tesla wall connector. So basically they have more experience doing it. Whereas Rivian's wall charger is the 1st gen, which means there's probably going to be bugs that they can work out in a newer generation EVSE. So I don't want to be their guinea pig either. So if you're in the market for an EVSE that can charge at 48 amps, which ones are you looking into? Are you looking into these two? Let me know in the comments, and thanks for watching.